What's going on, guys? I want to talk to you about the press conference that I just finished watching for the mega card on December 23rd. And my biggest takeaway from this, which is that Eddie Hearn would be making an enormous mistake at this point if he was to put Anthony Joshua against Deontay Wilder. Now, that's just my opinion, but I'm going to get into why I feel that's the case based on what I saw here in this press conference. Because if you watch this, let me know what you thought in the comments. But to my eye, this was the most off we've seen Anthony Joshua, perhaps in his entire career, at a press conference. And I think that was primarily due to the presence of Deontay Wilder. Now, there may have been other factors at play, but it was very noticeable that from the time the press conference started, Anthony Joshua looked at various times a combination of angry and or scared. But I read his demeanor to be more on the scared side. From the very beginning, he looked like he was unhappy, and as soon as Jarrell Miller started having a go at him, Anthony Joshua responded in an aggressive way, which we don't usually see from him. And I know him and Jarrell Miller have history, and a lot of it might have to do with that. But I also think it was because he was feeling very intimidated by Deontay Wilder being right next to him on the table. And I think my guess or my analysis, my reading of Anthony Joshua is that basically he tends to lash out when he feels threatened. And so I think with Wilder sitting right next to him, he was lashing out at Jarrell Miller. He was lashing out at Dev Sani as well, the presenter of the press conference, who was asking him routine questions and getting very snappy responses from AJ, where he said, "You're not my promoter. I want to talk to Eddie Hearn." And then he literally had to have Eddie Hearn ask him questions. And when he did, his whole demeanor changed. He kind of relaxed. He started giving his more safe, PC, friendly, relaxed answers that we're more used to seeing at an Anthony Joshua press conference. But every time Wilder was involved, Anthony Joshua looked noticeably shaken. There was a time later on when they had Wilder basically just give a few words to Anthony Joshua, and he just wished him well on the fight. He was very friendly, very smiley. He was looking at Anthony Joshua, but he was just basically saying some polite niceties. There was nothing threatening at all. And Anthony Joshua literally couldn't reply to him. He looked at him very briefly, looked away, and he didn't say anything. And I thought that was a very bad sign as far as his confidence going into that fight, because I think his whole demeanor reflected somebody who was feeling very threatened and was lashing out at other people, sort of to make themselves feel better about the fact that inside he knew he was being intimidated, or he was feeling intimidated by Deontay Wilder, because he was also being uncharacteristically angry towards Otto Wallin, in the sense that he was basically telling the crowd how he was going to do a demolition job on Otto Wallin. He was very emphatic about it. He was having a rant about, or basically a few angry words about people saying different things about his career, and he was snapping at the fans, all things which he doesn't characteristically do, because Wilder was there. And so that knocked him off his game completely, in my opinion. If you don't agree, then let me know your analysis of it in the comments. But that's, to me, how you have to look at this. And later on, when they did this big photo opportunity, they had Wilder and AJ next to each other, and AJ could barely look at Wilder. He shook his hand very briefly, and he looked away, straight away. So the whole thing, to me, was a very, very bad indication of his confidence going into that potential fight against Deontay Wilder. Now, I said months ago when the fight was first speculated that after seeing his performance against Helenius, I thought that fight would be an enormous mistake. And I said it at the time, Eddie Hearn, if he only wants to get as much money as possible, then he should take that fight. But if he wants to try and improve Anthony Joshua's career to the point where I believe he could go, which is actually to reach levels that he hasn't reached so far, I really, really, really do not encourage the Anthony Joshua-Deontay Wilder fight to take place anytime soon, because I think if that were to happen in April, Anthony Joshua is going to get annihilated, and it could very possibly be the end of his career if that were to happen, based on how mentally fragile he is coming across at this point. But those are my thoughts on this. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. This was just my analysis of his body language. I'd be curious to hear any counter arguments to this. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but let me know in the comments. Thank you as always for watching. Like and subscribe to videos if you like the content. If you don't like the content, you can like and subscribe anyway. And I will catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.